According to some sources, at the church of Michael the Archangel in the village of Mikhailovskaya served monastic martyr Xenophontos Bondarenko. Monastic martyr Xenophontos Konstantin Andreevich Bondarenko was born on the 13th of May in 1886 in the village of Nikitovka of Valuisk County in Voronezhsk province in the family of a peasant. After finishing Kopano-Nikitovskaya College, Konstantin helped his father around the household. On the 21st of January 1910, Konstantin joined the Trinity Sergius Lavra, and on the 28th of May in 1916 was accepted as an obedient, while on the 15th of June the same year he took monastic vows with name Xenophontos and became an assistant of Kronit Lubimov, who was the hegumen of the Lavra. In 1918, monk Xenophontos was ordained a monk deacon, while in 1926 he became a hieromonk. After the Lavra was closed in 1919, Father Xenophontos stayed there as a locksmith at the Commission of Preserving of Monuments of Art and Antiquity. In 1924 he moved to Petrograd and worked as a mechanic at different factories, but then returned to Moscow and by the church authorities was sent to different churches, where a priest was needed. In 1932, Father Xenophontos served at the church of Michael the Archangel in the Mikhailovskaya village of Zvenigrad district in Moscow region. Having a desire to stay there permanently, he gave his passport to the village council, but its chairman noticed that the priest was written down there as a worker, as Father Xenophontos got it while working at a factory, and the passport was sent to OGPU. Father Xenophontos had to return to Moscow as he was afraid of persecutions, and he was transferred to serve at the Trinity Church in the village of Konkovo near Moscow. He served there for about a year, when it became clear that OGPU were going to arrest him. In order to avoid it, church authorities sent Father Xenophontos to serve at the Church of St. Nicholas the Miracle Maker in the village of Alexeyevskaya of Solnechnogorsk district in Moscow region. In January 1935, the OGPU officer questioned the deacon of the church in Alexeyevskaya, who gave false testify against Father Xenophontos, with whom he served. After that, some more locals of Alexeyevskaya village were questioned and they also testified in the way that was needed for the OGPU. Father Xenophontos was arrested on the 12th of March and imprisoned in Taganskaya prison in Moscow. On the 21st of March in 1935, the investigation was over. Hieromonk Xenophontos was accused of systematic anti-Soviet agitation among the peasants of Alexeyevskaya village, spreading provocative gossips about the fast death of the Soviets and imposing the peasants' anti-Soviet ideas. On the 21st of March in 1935, the special meeting of OGPU sentenced Father Xenophontos to 3 years of imprisonment in a labor camp, and he was sent to Temnikov labor camp of the town of Potma, spending there all the time. In August 1937 he returned from Temnikov labor camp, and because of the prohibition on living near Moscow, he had to settle in the town of Alexandrov in Vladimirskaya region. At that time more severe persecutions on the Russian Orthodox Church began, and the NKVD officers collected information and watched people who, in their point of view, were subject to arrest, and first of all it concerned clergymen. That is why the Father Xenophontos' visit to Archimandrite Kronit Lubimov in Zagorsk could not remain unnoticed. After that, Hieromonk Xenophontos visited Archimandrite Kronit several times more, and when on the 20th of November in 1937 both Father Kronit and his assistant were arrested, the Archimandrite was visited by him too. The arrested monks were imprisoned in Taganskaya prison in Moscow. On the 7th of December in 1937, the NKVD Troika sentenced Father Xenophontos to firing squad. Both Hieromonk Xenophontos and Archimandrite Kronit were executed on the 10th of December in 1937 and entombed in the unknown Pope's grave on the Butova Range area near Moscow. On the 17th of August in 2004, Hieromonk Xenophontos Bondarenko was canonized by the decree of the Holy Synod.